AITA for telling my wife that her investing losses are not my problem? I, 30 male, come from a very poor family, but my wife is from a very rich one. She started off the marriage with a net worth of $31 million, and I started it off with $300,000 in student debt. When we got married, she made me get a prenup that separated her inheritance and got rid of my right to an elective share to it if she dies. In other words, I renounced my spousal right to a third of her separate property if she dies, making her sole beneficiaries her siblings or potential children. My debt and our incomes were also separated. We both got lawyers, hers much more expensive than mine, and notarized the prenup. None of this was a problem for me. As a man, I'm determined to pull myself up by the bootstraps, not rely on my wife's wealth for anything. The only beneficial part of the prenup for me was that our incomes were also now separate, and I earned a somewhat higher income than her, and so I was okay with it overall. 5 years later, I still don't have a seventh of her current wealth, but her investments haven't been doing great this year either. As a sole crypto investor, things have been going very poorly for her. I had warned her not to do this, but she invests in a cryptocurrency called Monero, which is down 47% this year. About 5% of her money was not in her wallet and was in the FTX exchange itself, which she lost after FTX went bankrupt recently. She now has a net worth of around $18 million. I don't invest in crypto, but rather in index funds. They've taken a hit this year as well, but based on historical performance, they should go back up eventually. No such guarantee for cryptocurrencies, and certainly not for Monero. I came home to her crying the other day after she found out that FTX went bankrupt. I told her, "That's rough," not in a sarcastic way, and I went upstairs to change. When I got back downstairs, she started bitching and complaining, talking about how nonchalant I was being about her losing money. I pointed out how she's still extraordinarily rich in spite of her poor choices and how she could stop investing in crypto at any time if she wanted to. Besides, she was the one that wanted to separate everything, so why does she want to make it my problem all of a sudden? AITA? AITA for calling the police on my mother-in-law? I 28F got married to my husband 34 meters a week ago. We got engaged about a year ago, and when I got engaged my mother gave me a pair of earrings which she said every woman for generations in our family has worn to their weddings. They are 4.00 carat dangling earrings and they are worth a lot. I felt very honored to be given them, and it made me feel closer to my grandmother who had died 2 months prior. About 3 months after that I went wedding dress shopping with my mother, my sister and my fiancé's mother. I brought all the jewelry that I would be wearing to my wedding to see how they match the dresses. When I put the jewelry on, my mother-in-law kept going on about how gorgeous the earrings were. My mother explained the story and how they were a family heirloom passed down generations. I found the dress of my dreams and bought it. On the day of my wedding I had everything ready in my room. My wedding dress, my flowers, my shoes, my makeup and my jewelry. I was in there with my soon-to-be mother-in-law. I then needed to go to the toilet, and when I came back my mother-in-law was gone. I wasn't sure what had happened, but I just thought she maybe got called away to do something. I then noticed my earrings were gone. I knew straight away that she had taken them. I found her and confronted her, and she said she didn't take them. I asked if I could look through her bag and she said no and gripped onto it. I said that if she didn't let me look I would call the police, which I then did, as she still wouldn't let me look. The police arrived and searched her, and the earrings were found in her bag. They were returned to me and they asked if I wanted to press charges. I wanted to talk to my fiancé first, and he said he would support me if I wanted to. I didn't want to decide in that moment, so I just ignored it and had a great night. That was a week ago, and ever since then I've been getting loads of threatening messages and calls from my husband's side for the family. My mother-in-law has been sending me extremely hateful texts, and I think I want to press charges, but I'm still not sure if it's a good idea.